All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to get into something that's been a personal obsession for 6 years now. This quest to build an AI that doesn't just think, but actually connects. An AI that feels like it has, well, a soul. And it all started with one single, really powerful idea.
And this is it. This is the idea that kicked the whole thing off. It argues that the secret to making an AI that feels real, that has some warmth, isn't just about more processing power. Nope, it's all about personal memory.
So where did this crazy idea even come from? Well, we have to go back in time, all the way to 2019. And in tech years, that feels like a lifetime ago.
6 years ago, the dream was a companion AI. A digital twin that could recognize your emotions, remember your life. It was a total bust, a complete failure. Why? Well, the tech just wasn't there yet. But get this, fast forward to today, and what was once this massive, impossible undertaking, you can now basically build a prototype in a weekend with just a little bit of code. The speed here is just insane.
Okay, so that leads us to the big question, right? If the technology is finally caught up, how in the world do you actually go about building an AI with a soul?
And this is where it gets really, really interesting, because this slide breaks down the core problem. On one side, you have an AI that can act emotional, but with no memory, it's just a performance. It's hollow. Then on the other side, you've got an AI with a perfect memory, but with no emotion, it's just a cold, boring database, a list of facts. The real magic, the soul, is finding that sweet spot right in the middle.
And here's how they're actually building that bridge. This isn't just some chatbot. We're talking about a digital twin that uses your voice, it reads your emotions, and it syncs with your actual memories. It doesn't just hear your words, it gets the whole story behind them. And that's what makes it feel real.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Ideas that sounded like pure science fiction just a handful of years ago are now becoming things you can actually build yourself. The pace of change we're living through is just astonishing.
But this is bigger than just one project. Let's zoom out, because this explosion in AI capability, it's not staying locked up on our screens. Oh no, it is breaking out into the real physical world in some pretty mind-blowing ways. So, the first frontier is being driven by AI's insane hunger for two things: energy and computing power. The demand is growing so fast, we are literally running out of room and power here on Earth. So, where do you go next? You look up.
Now get ready for this, because it sounds like it's straight out of a novel. There's this company, Cloud, that's sending GPUs into orbit with the ultimate goal of building a Dyson sphere, a massive structure that would literally wrap around a star to capture all of its energy and turn it into pure computation. The energy crisis AI is creating might just have to be solved in space. Wild.
And at the exact same time AI's brain is heading for the stars, its body is coming right back down to Earth and into our homes.
Which brings us to this fantastic new concept called robotic slop. I love this. The idea is that for a robot in your home to be valuable, it doesn't need to be perfect. It can fold your laundry, probably worse than you can, but who cares? The point is it gets it done. We're not buying a perfect machine, it's more like we're raising a helpful, if sometimes clumsy assistant. But with all this incredible progress, you'd probably assume all the experts are on the same page. Well, you'd be wrong. The very people who created this technology are completely divided on where it's all headed.
It's just like that old parable of the blind man and the elephant. One person touches the tusk and thinks it's a spear. Another touches the leg and thinks it's a tree. In the world of AI, the pioneers are each touching a different part: the code, the hardware, the data, and they're all describing a totally different beast.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. It's fascinating. You've got Jensen Huang, the engineer, who's basically saying the AGI timeline doesn't even matter because this stuff is already so useful. Then there's Yann LeCun, the scientist, who thinks we're nowhere close, that today's AI isn't even as smart as a cat. And then you have Geoffrey Hinton, the thinker, who's predicting AGI in less than 20 years. These are the godfathers of the field, and they couldn't be further apart.
All this uncertainty and this breakneck speed, it brings us to what might be the most important question of all. And this one isn't about the technology. It's about us.
Think about it. If AI becomes the ultimate tool for execution, if it can do almost anything we ask it to, what's left for us to do? What is our alpha, our unique, irreplaceable value that we bring to the table?
The answer, and this is the crucial point, is this. Our value isn't in doing the work anymore, it's in starting it. It lies in 3 uniquely human abilities that a machine, no matter how powerful,
just can't spark on its own.
So let's break that down. First, there's strategic judgment. That's about making those wise calls that cut through ego and politics. Then, there's insatiable curiosity. That's the drive to ask why, not just what, to dig deeper than a surface-level answer. And finally, creative passion. That's that internal fire, born from our own lives and our own obsessions, that makes us create something new. AI can't feel that.
This quote just sums it all up perfectly. AI is the tool. It's the ultimate executor, but we have to be the initiators. We are the source of the judgment, the curiosity, and the passion that gives all of this meaning.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. In a world where AI can execute almost anything, our most important job is to cultivate our own irreplaceable human value. The only question is, which of these alphas are you training?